Hey, Coach, good morning. While we wait on questions, if you could take a minute to comment on your team as you prepare for Alabama on Saturday.
Yep, we've had, I guess, 2 good practices and getting ready for a third, and guys are excited. It certainly is a lot easier in terms of preparation for your kids when you got a game of this magnitude. It doesn't get down to motivation. There's a lot of motivation to play in big games, and in the SEC, you get an opportunity to do that almost every week. So our kids are excited for the opportunity and play a really good team. I got a lot of respect for Coach Saban and their program and the job they've done.
We'll begin with Stuart Mandel of The Athletic.
Kirby, obviously, Nick has changed his offensive approach quite a bit since when you were at Alabama. What's it been like watching that evolve over the last few years? And do you feel like maybe that helped accelerate that trend around the conference?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of teams have opened up and done things prior to Alabama doing it. I think Alabama's always played to their strengths offensively, and if the strength was Mark Ingram or Derrick Henry, then they did. Their strength has been wideouts, and when you've had the core group of wideouts they've had, it's easy to have that philosophy when you've got a first-round quarterback in Tua. It's easy to have that philosophy. So I feel like it shifted before 2 years ago. It kind of came about around the time they beat us in the national championship with the group of wideouts they had, and the quarterback who's an exceptional thrower in Tua. It was a great combination, and they've run with it. They've gone further and further with it. Sark's been a big part of that too.
Go to Brendan Marcello of 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Coach. I know you just look at the stats, and we look at the Georgia defense, and it's been great so far. But is the secret to what you guys have been able to do is keeping guys fresh with as much as you guys rotate, especially up front?
I definitely think that's helped some in the fourth quarter in terms of depth and keeping guys playing fast. I think a lot of it's good players, and obviously the challenge this week is like no other because they've got really good players on the front line, really good players at running back, and really good receivers and a really good quarterback. So there's not a lot you can say. I'm going to take this away and make them play kind of left-handed, and that's tough with these guys. So I don't know. I think having good football players has helped us, and experienced football players is a big key because a lot of our guys have played defensively a lot.
Do you guys have like that big-time star pass rusher, or do you feel like that it's just, it could be this guy or that guy on any given day?
Yeah, it's usually who gets the best matchups. It's not like we have one dominant player. I think Aziz has done a good job to put himself in that position, but it's not like he's the only guy. There's one-on-ones up there. There's usually 2 or 3 one-on-ones in each third down or each pass rush situation, and you've got to try to win more of those than you lose so you can get pressure.
Thanks.
Next is Mike Griffith of the AJC.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned a little bit ago Alabama playing to their strengths. What would you say is your offensive strength right now? And then is there any update on the health of Matt Landers? Is he okay?
Yeah, Matt Landers, we think is going to be fine. He's been practicing. He's been in a black jersey, and he's improved each day, so we think he's going to be good to go. In terms of strengths offensively right now, the biggest thing is getting continuity and being able to execute, and we feel like we've got good backs and we've got good wideouts, and our offensive line is growing and getting better. So it's one of those deals. Stetson is getting more and more experience, and you want to be able to play to his strengths, which is being able to distribute the ball to a lot of people.
Next is Gene Fernetti of the Florida Times Union.
The Georgia-Florida game is still a few weeks away, and obviously because it's equal distribution at that game, half and half. Right now it looks like it might be 25% capacity, but they do have the option to maybe raise it to more. Would you be okay regardless of what attendance protocols they set for that game?
I'd have to side and say that that's the SEC decision. It's a conference, and I got a lot more on my plate right now than thinking about that.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mac Engel, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
Coach, this is kind of a general football question. One thing I hear a lot when a game starts, if one particular team struggles early, maybe turnovers or errors, I will hear announcers, former players say, this team wasn't ready to play today. They didn't come prepared, almost implying it's an indictment on coaching. Do you buy that?
I don't get into it much. I think a lot of it is mental state of mind, and certainly the coach's job to get the players in a good mental disposition to play well. But a lot more of it has to do with what caused that turnover, what caused that mental error. Was it the other team? Was it speed of the game? Was it the look they got? Was it the contact the guy made with the ball to knock it out? I mean, there's a lot of things that you can point to. So I don't get into each situation. For me is independent of the previous, and I look at the facts and what caused it. And if you go out there and you got to call 3 timeouts in the first drive, then you probably weren't mentally ready or you were doing too much. And just because you turned the ball over early doesn't necessarily mean you weren't ready to play. It means they may have affected you in a way you weren't prepared for.
Thank you.
Next is Ben Brainerd at the State Newspaper.
Hey, Kirby. I wanted to ask, can you recall in your career a specific moment when an opposing staff hit an injury and the advantage gained from kind of holding back that information either made the game considerably tougher or maybe cost you guys a win?
I'm not sure I understand your question. Say, what are you asking again?
A moment where an opposing team didn't announce an injury, you guys find out on game day, and that kind of alters the game in a way that either costs you or makes it closer.
I don't know a specific time that would have happened. I know there's been several times when pregame warm-ups have occurred and a player was missing, whether due to injury, suspension, or whatever reason. It could be injury and you weren't aware of it, and it might change your game plan and how you played them. And that has affected probably many times where something changed within the game because of injury or in warm-ups prior to you find out.
Okay, thanks.
This is Chip Howard of KZNE Radio.
Kirby, your defense has been one of the few consistent defenses in the league so far. Do you have a theory as to why there's been so much offense here in the early going around the league?
No, I don't. I mean, I think offenses are developing, and they've got a lot of advantages in terms of RPOs and things that have helped them. But I don't know. I don't see it like this year alone. I look at what LSU did last year and what Alabama's done for the last 3 or 4 is really good offenses. You know, we had a couple years in there we were really good on offense in the national championship run year. I mean, there was several years there. The year we played Alabama, I thought that we had good offensive numbers. But, you know, every year is different, and it comes and goes. It's usually based, to me, on the quarterbacks in the league. And the more, experienced quarterbacks you have, typically, the more offense you have.
So how have you been able to maintain your defensive consistency so far?
Well, I think experience. I think we have guys that have played, but look, we haven't played anybody at the caliber of Alabama. I mean, we haven't played a team that's that powerful on offense yet, and we played some good teams, but not what they are. So, defense is, a lot of times they're always trying to play catch up in terms of what the offense is doing. They get dictated to them what's going on, and we have a lot of guys back. So that's allowed us to play to a level of consistency in terms of last year and this year, outside of probably the LSU game. But every week is a new battle.
Thank you.
That's all of our time, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.